Okay everyone, I would like to start with drawing first and then move on everything that we see on that distance, start to add the colors on top and then move forward. So after drawing from mountains and separate all the trees and the river, I would like to start from the sky color, cloudy sky, and then the next part is the purpley light mountain and then the bluey mountain, and then on top it's the trees, and then we move forward for the river and everything around that. So just would like to start drawing by brownie color. This is reddish brown I choose, burnt sienna. We can have purple, light blue, and the white color for our sky and mountain. So choose the brownie color, because if it's visible under it, it's okay. I want to keep it to be visible in some case in some part of the mountain, and this is so useful color in our background. So the canvas is 8 by 10 inches, and I would like to start from separate the mountain from the river. So if I imagine this is the end of river, just on the center of the canvas, and a little bit landscape we place here. So the first mountain, I imagine something like that, and the second one something like this. So we would like to keep some part for the sky. Even if we would like to add more for the sky, I'm going to add the mountain like this shape, a little bit high, and then move down. It's like a broken line, so I'm going down. And then this part, it's more covered by the trees, so I'm not seeing more mountain on the background, because the trees are so higher, so long, and I can just see the trees. And this is the sky color for the sky part, for cloud and sky. And I can add some darker line to separate some part of the mountain right now or even later. That's okay. Anytime we can add some details on the mountain. And then the mountain for the blue, I just focus on that to separate. This is the hill, and even under this it's again covered by lots of trees, so it's not visible for us completely. So I imagine this is the landscape part, and start drawing the river to separate the river as well. This is the river. From left and right, it's move a little further. It's like a nice C curve come down, going there, reach here, tiny bit detail I can see, and then connect to the left of the canvas, just playing beside the river with this movement. And then the landscape start here to disappear, and then again this part for the river, move on with landscape, make it a little thick. Even if you see you move a little more inside the river or less, every time we can anytime fix it, so don't be worried about it. So we fix like that, connect it to the end of the canvas. All this part it's for the river. Even we have some details of grass be visible here that I can add it later. It's not for now. Even we can just add some line as a tree trunk. I don't want to make ourselves confused. Just this drawing would be enough. So next part is the sky color. So the sky is a really light blue color, and even the cloud is puffy in grayish. So I'm going to take blue, take white, mix them together. Even the light blue need to be a little bit lighter, so I'm going to add white into that and make it lighter. So this is good for the light blue color. And for cloud, I can see it's a grayish color, so I'm not going to use black mixed with the white and make it gray. I would like to make it by blue. So take blue, a little bit reddish brown, mix together, give me nice grayish bluish color that I can use it a little lighter. More blue. Give me some dark, not dark, it's something like grayish color, grayish bluish, but in some case I have this, in some case I have mixture of blue and purple. So a little bit more blue I need to add. This is one color that we need to have. Clean the brush with, clean the palette knife. Then take the blue, purple, mixing them together. Even more blue and white. Always white is helpful to make our colors lighter. So I'm happy with the colors that I have here for the cloud and sky. Even if in case if I need, I can add some part a little bit brown as well. But so far I'm okay with it. And I'm going to choose Filbert brush for the sky. Filbert is a little bit curvy on top, so it's not flat. And the reason I'm going to use a flat Filbert brush is because the cloud it's puffy shape, so we can move our stroke with this kind of brush more easily to make that puffy shape. But if you don't have it, doesn't matter, just with the flat brush you can move on. So please start with the blue color, just the pure first. Try to cover all the sky part a little bit more. And then I'm not let it dry. I would like to bring the light blue color at the beginning and try to mix them together. So it's so powerful because already light and dark mix together and the sky move into the colorful. Even I can move on a little more here, doesn't matter, it's covered by the trees. It's okay, you bring it down and have some tone, then the trees will come on top. So this is the part for the cloud. I stop with the blue color here and then try to move on with the cloud. First of all, I'm going to use this purpley tone and take heavy paint. Try to add my brush stroke on top of sky like this way, exactly curvy shape and puffy. So make sure not add a lot of pressure, just a bit would be enough to make the shadow part of the cloud, and even in between we can switch on this color as well. Both color helpful to make the cloud more interesting. Close to the mountain, I just try to keep this edge and then continue to shape the cloud. And then we need to go with with the solid pure white color. So I'm okay with the cloudy shape so far. Please keep this part exactly the blue. Clean the brush with napkin, pure white color. Very gently try to touch the surface because it's wet. They can blend together, mix together, and we really love that to do. But we need to be gently, not lift up the paint from the cloud. And even we can repeat, go on back, move on like that. to help our cloud shape more interesting. Even the edge of the mountain, I prefer to go with more pure white color to make it more light and interesting. Clean the brush very well by napkin. You don't have to add everywhere with the white color, just somewhere would be enough. And try to move on like circle-y shape, puffy shape. And here as well. So I'm okay with this sky and the cloudy shape that we make. Just a bit back to the purple tone here. I would like to return to the purple more. So we can go on back and bring the colors that we would like anytime on top of the painting. Okay, so I'm happy with that. We need to wait everything get dry and then move on for the next part, which is the mountain. Now I think I disappeared the edge of mountain. I would like to bring it back with this brownie color. Because that brown, it's so lovely. I would like to keep this on top of mountain. I don't want to disappear. So again, back to fix this color that we already lost. And the mountain, it's so hard, so it can be used broken line on top. That's fine if you use the broken line. So we let it dry. The other things that we need to work is the edge of the canvas. So even the wood, this is the wood panel. If you're interested to keep the wood like that, the edge of the canvas or wood, so it's okay. The other way, we can add a solid color like blue, like brown, like black, any color, or we can move on from everything that we see on top to the background. So I prefer to go like that. I'm going to add the colors I see on my background. So the cloudy shape would be here. Try to continue. Purpley tone. One. Even the pure white color helpful to make it interesting like that. And then make sure not touch it. Then with the light color, light blue color actually, we can cover it. Make sure not touch the surface. Move on toward the right side. Again, back to the purpley tone to continue the cloud from everywhere that we close it to the edge, we can move on here. So that's so interesting. After it's finished, easily you can hang it on a wall without any framing it. So now next part is working on the mountain. This top part, it's the purpley one. We work on that one first and then move on with the second mountain that it's more toward us. So we need to have this pure purple for some part which is on a shadow, and we need to have it lighter with the white color. I'm going to take a little bit of this purple, make it lighter tone. Tiny bit of that too. That's good for the light part. The rest can be on the shadow. Light, dark purple, and then the brown color. So start with any brush that you're comfortable with, but it can be flat. Just I'm going to use filbert brush for the puffy shape. The mountain, it's like the broken line, so I can use it just with the flat brush. And start with the shadow part with the dark purple without any touching the brown. I'm not covered those. I try to keep it some part with just the brownie. So add the purple tone on top with the broken line stroke. Like that, keep it like this, which is so interesting. And even here we need to keep this part a little bit on shadow as well, but if you see, I'm not covered the brown under it. At the same time, we can move on this color. Keep the purple, the brown on top. Then move on with heavy brush stroke. Use the flatness of the brush. Even if I didn't see anything under this section, because it's covered by trees, I'm going to add the tone on top. The reason is because you help get rid of the white of canvas, and then very nice bring the sky, the trees on top, and between the leaves and the branches, it's not the white of the canvas, it's just the mountain and the cloud. So that's great to go like this. Use your stroke, be like zigzaggy shape or cross shape. And then move on with the light color of purple that we already make. Adding here. And if you see, I keep the brown color in between, which is so interesting. Move on like that. Try to use the flatness of my brush, and use the tip even somewhere that I need. on top of this mountain. So that's great. I just have a light this part, not on the other part is more on shadow. So still I think it's nice to have more light color, a little bit more white. I'm going to add. Just some touch. Make it interesting to have light color on top. So I'm happy with this light tone. Then clean the brush with napkin. Back to the brown, because some part we still need to cover more. Even some movement here, it's interesting to have with brown on top as well. Some nice brush stroke, helpful to make the mountain more interesting. Nice line in between. I'm going to add, make separate some part of the mountain from each other. So I can leave it like that. That's the purpley mountain, which is so interesting now. Now I'm going to add the color for the second mountain, which is a little bit bluey greeny. I have already blue here. I have the green. I add the sap green, I'm sorry, hooker green. For some part, I'm going to take this blue color, even the light blue, it's okay, you can bring it. Mix with a little bit green, tiny bit. Then you can see what happened, which color you make. More blue we need to bring. So this is the nice color of mountain that we can have for the light part. Now for the shadow, I'm going to mix this green with darker blue. Darker blue can be cobalt or ultramarine. So take some darker blue with green. Even more blue we need to have, because I would like to have more bluey value than the green. So take more blue color. And the color should be dark, so we can add tiny bit white to make it lighter. Tiny bit, because we don't need to be really light. We need to have this separation between the shadow and light together. So this is the good color that I can mix here for my mountain. So take the brush. I'm going to start with dark color first, this one. Try to add some dark tone and make it separate from the other, but please keep the brown color on top, not add anything on top of it. Even when we see a lots of bunch of trees here, we need to cover it by the color of mountain, and then on top we will bring the trees on top. So I'm going to add some dark color here and there, which is so great. I'm happy with this. Tiny bit on top. And then clean the brush very well. Move on with the lighter tone that I have. Bring it in between. I'm going to use squareness of stroke. Even if it disappears some part of the brown, it's okay. We will back and add more brown on top. That's fine to be like this. It's okay to have some shadow, light and shadow like that. Again, I can back for the dark tone to make it more strong if I cover it. We are not blending any more them together at all. We just try to keep it more like flat, like that. So clean the brush. Most of this will cover by trees, so I'm going to add more trees on top later after it gets dry, and I'm going to use brownie color to shape more my mountain. So a little bit here. And it's better everything be dry to add these details on top. So this is about the second trees. Clean the napkin, your brush. So I'm going to move with the edges. So it takes really time to get dry because I use heavy paint on top. We can focus on the rest on another time and then finish our painting. Thanks so much for now to joining me.